Welcome to Talks and Views. In this video we will discuss eUCP Article 4 and 5, let's dive into the video now. Article E4 deals with electronic records and paper documents versus goods, services, or performance. Article E5 deals with format.
Before dive into the video we need to tell about us. Trade Hunt Management has been delivering professional training in trade finance and compliance certifications since 2011, with over a decade of specialized experience. We provide structured preparation for globally recognized certifications including CDCS, CSDG, CITF, CSCF, ACAMS, CGSS, and CCAS. Our training is led by Sudhakar Sanjeevi, CDCS Advocate, CSDG, ACAMS, CGSS, CCAS, providing practical industry insights, exam-focused guidance, and professional mentoring. With a strong commitment to quality and a 4.6/5 Google rating, we support professionals in achieving their certification and career goals. Trade Hunt Management, empowering professionals through knowledge, certification, and career excellence.
Article E4. Banks do not deal with the goods, services, or performance to which an electronic record or paper document may relate. What does this mean? This is a fundamental principle of documentary credits. The bank deals with documents and electronic records. The bank does not deal with the actual goods, services, or performance behind those records. In simple terms, banks deal with documents, not goods. And under eUCP, banks deal with electronic records as well as paper documents, not the actual goods or services.
Example 1, Goods. Suppose an LC is issued for the purchase of 1,000 tons of steel. The beneficiary presents electronic commercial invoice, electronic bill of lading, electronic certificate of origin. The bank examines the relevant records according to the applicable rules. Does the bank physically inspect the steel? No. The bank does not go to the warehouse and check. Is there really 1,000 tons? Is the steel good quality? Is the steel actually loaded? Is the steel damaged? The bank deals with the documents/electronic records, not the physical steel.
Example 2, Services. Suppose an LC relates to engineering services. The beneficiary submits an electronic certificate confirming completion of the service. Does the bank independently verify whether the engineer actually completed the work? No. The bank examines the required record in accordance with the applicable credit terms and rules. The bank does not physically perform or investigate the underlying service.
Example 3, Performance. Imagine an LC requires an electronic document evidencing completion of a construction project. The bank examines the required electronic record. The bank does not become responsible for determining whether the construction work was actually performed correctly.
Article E5. Format. This article deals with the format of electronic records. It states that an eUCP credit must indicate the format of each electronic record. This means the letter of credit should tell the beneficiary what format is required for each electronic record. What does format mean? Format simply means the way the electronic record is organized or the file type in which it is presented. For example, PDF, XML, JPEG, TIFF, Docs, XLSX.
Example. Suppose an eUCP credit states commercial invoice, PDF format. The beneficiary should present the commercial invoice in the required PDF format. Similarly, the credit might specify certificate of origin, XML format. The beneficiary should present it in the specified format.
What if the LC does not specify the format? Example. The LC requires commercial invoice, but it does not say PDF, XML, JPEG, TIFF. What can the beneficiary do? The beneficiary can present the electronic record in any format.
Quick revision. Article E4. Banks deal with documents and electronic records. They do not deal with goods, services, performance. Article E5. The eUCP credit must indicate the format of each electronic record. If the format is specified, follow the specified format. If the format is not specified, any format may be presented. Now let's test your understanding on this article with few questions. Question 1. An eUCP credit covers the shipment of 5,000 tons of iron ore. The beneficiary presents the required electronic records. What is the bank responsible for examining? A. The physical quality of the iron ore. B. The actual quantity of iron ore in the warehouse. C. Whether the buyer has received the goods. D. The electronic records presented under the credit. Answer, D. Question 2. An eUCP credit relates to consulting services. The beneficiary presents an electronic record evidencing completion of the services. What should the bank do? A. Personally verify the quality of the consulting services. B. Send an employee to inspect the services. C. Deal with the electronic record rather than the underlying service. D. Ask the beneficiary to perform the service again. Answer, C. Question 3. An eUCP credit requires an electronic commercial invoice but does not specify its format. The beneficiary presents the invoice in PDF format. Is the presentation acceptable with respect to format? A. No, because PDF is never acceptable. B. No, because the issuing bank must specify the format. C. Yes, because if the format is not indicated, the electronic record may be presented in any format. D. No, because only XML format is permitted. Answer, C. Question 4. An eUCP credit specifies that the electronic certificate of origin must be presented in XML format. The beneficiary presents it in PDF format. What is the key issue? A. The beneficiary may always choose any format. B. The bank must convert the PDF into XML. C. The credit specified the format, so the stated format requirement must be followed. D. Format is never relevant under eUCP. Answer, C. Question 5. Which statement correctly describes Articles E4 and E5? A. Banks examine goods and services, and electronic records can only be submitted in PDF. B. Banks deal only with electronic records and not paper documents. C. Banks are responsible for verifying the underlying performance, and the beneficiary selects the format. D. Banks deal with paper documents and electronic records rather than the underlying goods, services, or performance. Where the format is not specified, an electronic record may be presented in any format. Answer, D.
If you are looking for professional training for CDCS, CSDG, CITF, CAMS, CGSS, CCAS examinations, then you can contact Trade Hunt Management on the contact details appearing on the screen right now.